Ms. Tina Parekh is the founder of the non-profit organization called SoulConnect. She is a well-known name amongst the women entrepreneurs of Ahmedabad. The NGO organizes various fun and cultural activities for kids and also contributes towards women welfare. Besides helping the needy in multiple different ways, the foundation has also made it possible to become a voice of the students who are unable to speak for themselves. The foundation helps in connecting different classes of the society so as to reduce the increasing difference between the rich and the poor. Let us now have a word with Ms. Tina Parekh and know more about her services to the society.
To begin with, I would like to thank you from my whole team for having given us this opportunity to know your views and your ideas on different aspects of life.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
So, as I take the name of your trust, Leelaben, Mulchand, Parekh, and SoulConnect. So, what is the relation that you find between the two names?
There is a very big story behind the name we chose for this trust. My husband's grandparents were Mrs. Leelaben and Mr. Mulchand Parekh, and they happened to fight for the country, freedom. They were freedom fighters, and they even went to jail because of this, and we really wanted to honor them and they always believed in social work. They were themselves, social workers in their own, ways, small little ways. So we wanted to honor them. So that's why I kept the name Leelaben Mulchand Parekh Trust in their memory. And then we even named it SoulConnect to have a connect with the youth. Why? Because my work as a social worker for this trust was to connect people, to connect two souls, one who was the needy and the one who was the giver. So I was just acting as a connect. So the name SoulConnect just fitted the idea which I had in mind. So that's how I named it SoulConnect.
So you followed the legacy of social service.
I hope I can carry it forward. I'm just doing my little bit, जितना भी थोड़ा बहुत हो पाता है. देश को बदलना या देश को चेंज करना तो बहुत बड़ी बात है, लेकिन हाँ, हर जना अपनी तरफ से कुछ एक छोटा कदम उठाए. मेरे ख्याल से थोड़ी बहुत भी हम कुछ कर सके मदद अपने देशवासियों की, अपने
महात्मा गांधी साहब.
I really believe in his ideas. So what really caught my attention was the line which Mahatma Gandhi always used to say, be the change you want to see. Yes. So हम चेंज लाने के लिए दुनिया को नहीं बदल सकते. अगर हम खुद अपने आप को बदल दें, एक कदम अपने अंदर ही हम एक चेंज लाए, तो आई थिंक absolutely we change ourselves. That's where change begins. Instead of changing the entire world, if we change ourselves, the change begins there. So that's how the entire motive is, to start charity individually. Do whatever you want to do. Maybe it's kindness, maybe whatever you want to do, start with yourselves. So that's my motto.
When we talk about helping or serving people, we often come across the idea of paying it forward. If we watch Jai Ho, there is this idea of paying it forward. So you ask someone to help someone else.
I think absolutely, I totally believe in it. Why? Because that's how the chain continues, So I always tell people, जब भी हम जैसे कोई बच्चे को मदद कर रहे, जैसे सपोजिंग कोई बच्चे को हमने एजुकेशन के लिए मदद करी, उसको फीस दी, उसके आगे तक लैपटॉप या व्हाटएवर जो भी उनकी एजुकेशनल एड्स थी हमने प्रोवाइड करी. एंड ऐसे कई बच्चे हमारे ट्रस्ट में से स्पॉन्सर होकर निकल गए हैं जो ऑलरेडी इंजीनियर्स बन चुके हैं, कंप्यूटर इंजीनियर्स अच्छे कॉलेजेस में से. तो आई ऑलवेज टेल देम वन थिंग कि रिमेंबर दिस, कि आपके जैसे और भी जो लोग हैं जिनको ज़रूरत है, आगे जाके यही एक करना. जब तुम कमाने लगोगे, जब तुम्हारे पास पैसे हो जाएंगे, तो आगे जाके हेल्प करना. डोंट ब्रेक दिस chain.
They are doing their bit.
Yes, and they actually understand because they have gone through this pain. They have seen the pain, of growing up without much financial help and family help and all, so they understand it even more better. So when I tell them कि भाई एक ही चीज़ है, this is the only way you can pay me back, I don't need anything else, or we don't require anything, the only thing is कि आगे जाके इस चेन को तोड़ना मत, जब भी तुम्हें मौका मिले, जब तुम कमाने लगो, हेल्प करना दूसरे लोगों को, अपने ही जैसे लोगों को आगे, एंड दे रियली बिलीव इन इट, एंड वो बोलते भी हैं कि हाँ मैम ऐसा होगा, आगे जाके जब हम कमाएंगे वी विल मेक श्योर कि जो यस यस, एंड दिस इज हाउ यू नो द चेन ऑफ काइंडनेस. आई बिलीव कि आज के टाइम में सबसे बड़ी चीज़ जो ज़रूरी है इस वक्त, जब मतलब पूरा वर्ल्ड वॉर में और हेट्रेड एंड स्ट्राइफ एंड रायट्स एंड रेप्स हम क्या क्या सुनते हैं डेली, आई थिंक ओनली वन थिंग दैट विल कीप ह्यूमैनिटी गोइंग इज काइंडनेस. सो आई बिलीव काइंडनेस हैज़ टू यू नो स्प्रेड, एंड इट इज़ कंटेजियस, इट इज़ इन्फेक्शियस. व्हेन यू हेल्प समवन, मे बी इट्स नॉट नेसेसरी कि आपको किसी को फाइनेंस दे के ही हेल्प करनी है. इवन व्हेन यू आर यू नो सिटिंग विद समवन, सम फ्रेंड ऑफ योर्स जिसको कुछ तकलीफ है, आप उसकी बात भी सुन रहे हो उसको, yes, it is one kind of help. You are actually easing someone's pain. So you know that is one way of kindness. You know, any kind of random act of kindness, it should just keep on going. And एक जना को kindness मिलेगी, वो दूसरे को forward करेगा. You know, that's how the world becomes a better place. Instead of हम सबको hatred, आपने I think वो story सुनी होगी. एक बॉस था, उसको बहुत काम में गुस्सा आया, उसने अपने एम्प्लॉय को जोर से डांटा, एम्प्लॉय ने अपने सबॉर्डिनेट को डांटा, सबॉर्डिनेट ने पियोन को डांटा, पियोन ने अपनी वाइफ को जाके डांटा, वाइफ ने अपने बच्चे ने जाके कुत्ते को मारा, एंड कुत्ता वापस जाके जब गया तो उसने बॉस जब ऑफिस से निकला उसी को काट लिया. सो दैट्स हाउ यू नो हेट्रेड इतनी जल्दी फैलती है. उसी तरह आई बिलीव काइंडनेस भी अगर हम फैलाएं तो वो भी बहुत जल्दी फैलेगी. एंड आई थिंक वी need more.
We never really know how our act of kindness
is getting, and we don't even accept as social workers. Not only me, I think all the social workers out there never expect anything in return. We only expect कि ये kindness की act आगे बढ़ती रहे. That's all what we require, and I think it should just go on.
We do know that happiness plays a major role when it comes to helping or serving people. So what according to you is happiness? How do you define happiness?
Yes, see, before I started doing this work and after doing this work, मेरी जो happiness का जो definition और जो answer है वो काफ़ी change हो गया. In the sense कि जब हम लोग अपने पढ़ाई करके जब बाहर निकलते हैं तो हमको यही लगता है कि मटीरियल चीज़ें जो है, पैसा है, वो ही खुशी ला के दे सकता है हमें. सबसे बड़ी चीज़ दुनिया में पैसा है, बट ऐसा नहीं है. When you actually start helping people, the kind of satisfaction you get and the kind of contentment you get, you know, when you see other who was in pain and give a smile, or you know, when he is happy, because the reason behind their happiness is somewhere your act or whatever. So if that person happiness has touched you, that gives us so much of satisfaction. So that I think is the true meaning of happiness. No other material, you know, things or anything can substitute that contentment and that happiness. उसका quotient ही एक अलग होता है. That amount of you know जो अंदर से दिल की खुशी होती है ना, उसको इवन आप बयां भी नहीं कर सकते अपने शब्दों में. इट इज़ सो ब्यूटिफुल. यस, इट इज़ सो ब्यूटिफुल, एंड आई थिंक दैट इज़ द ट्रू मीनिंग ऑफ हैप्पीनेस. दैट्स ट्रू हैप्पीनेस, एंड दैट नेवर फेड्स अवे. मटीरियल चीज़ों की हैप्पीनेस होगी, वो आज खुशी देगा, कल तक वापस आप बोर हो जाओगे उस चीज़ से. बट दीज काइंड ऑफ यू नो हैप्पीनेस लास्ट फॉर एवर, एंड दैट इज़ वॉट वी लुक आउट फॉर. वी डोंट लुक आउट फॉर यू नो कि हमें कुछ मटीरियल चीज़ वापस मिल जाएगी इसको हेल्प करके, बट हाँ, उसकी जो खुशी में हमें कंटेंटमेंट मिलता है ना, दैट इज़ द बिगेस्ट गिफ्ट you know we get. So I think that truly defines the meaning of happiness.
So like you said, you wanted to carry on your legacy of you know, your grandparents. Yes. Of social service. But then what was your family's your direct family's response and you know, support of your idea of
yes.
social service?
I think I did my commerce. My background was commerce, and I also did my company secretary. But then you know, before getting into a job relating to company secretary, I always had this thing in mind that I wanted to do something for the society, in whichever small way I could. So I took, a leap, of not following my profession of doing a company secretary thing. I took a complete U-turn and I said, okay, fine, I want to be a social worker or maybe help the society in whichever small way possible, because I got married early and then I was not really the corporate person. So what really struck me was how do I give back to the society? I just wanted to do it from the core of my heart. So I started volunteering, here and there at Blind School of Ahmedabad. I started working for blind children, started making a magazine for audio magazine for the blind people, which went all over India. So this it was all done voluntary. I had a volunteer team and all, and this entire thing, was the beginning of how I wanted to do it further. When I started meeting blind people, and actually when you interact with the students, you realize कि हमारे पास आँखें और सब कुछ होते हुए भी हम छोटी-छोटी बातों में कितना
grateful.
Yes, हम कितना दुख ढूंढते रहते हैं. उनके पास इतना vital organ नहीं है तो भी वो लोग खुशी ढूंढते हैं, खुशी के पल ढूंढते हैं. That's how you realize the value of life. So that struck me, and I was meeting a lot of people who were in need. So that gave me an idea कि I should just start up my own, trust, so I can, help people in a more organized way, and maybe have a larger team to help more and more people. So that's how I started with this idea of social work, and thankfully nobody from my parents side and my husband's side ever objected. They said it's a good work. Yes,
extend their support.
Yes, they were actually very supportive all throughout. So thankfully I didn't get any kind of कोई भी resistance या कोई वो नहीं हुआ.
So it's really great on your part. Like you said, you did your company secretary, and then it's really a big deal to sacrifice all the efforts that you put in your education, and then
that's where I said sometimes you have to make a decision in life. What do you prefer? Do you prefer material wealth, or do you prefer contentment and satisfaction? So I don't know, somewhere down the line I said I want to do something for the society and gain that kind of satisfaction. I was never after money or monetary returns and all. So I said, okay, let me take a call. It might not be the correct decision or whatever, or maybe I might not find that much material returns, but let me give it a try. At least I'll find that soul happiness which I was searching. So that's how and when I actually started meeting people from different walks of life, people who were suffering from cancers, HIVs, and जो लोग मतलब young age में widows हो गए या whatever, इतनी तरह तरह की problems दुनिया में, yes, इतनी sufferings जो मैंने उनको close quarters से देखा, and छोटा भी मैं उनकी life में कुछ भी difference ला पाई या कुछ भी, इतनी मुझे खुशी मिली, इतनी खुशी मिली. I said, this is it. I just want to follow my dream of helping others in whichever small way possible. So that's how it is. So no regrets of not following my profession and all. It's perfectly fine.
If you look at the current situations of how NGOs in India function, where do you see the less privileged people? How do you see their future in India?
I believe, see, it's very depressing when we go to the statistics part. It's really very depressing कि इतने लोग poverty line के नीचे हैं और इतने लोगों का कुछ नहीं हो सकता. सरकार भी इतने सारी schemes बना रही है पर उन तक पहुंच नहीं पा रही and all that. So when you go into the details and the statistics, everything becomes very gloomy and depressing. So let us not talk about that. I think it's only the thing, as an individual, our responsibility is to be a responsible citizen. To be a good citizen, you need to, act act wisely, always do things, in a way which can be of help to others. Each one, even that is my motto, that is what I have even put in my page also. Even each one of us, even if we do one random act of kindness throughout the day, so by the end of the year we are, having 365 acts of kindness.
Right.
So that's quite a lot number, right? When we are talking about less privileged ones and all, when we are talking about numbers, so let us begin with the number of kind acts we can do. So that's how, we change. And the future of India, I'm sure, is going to be very bright if we motivate the youngsters of today, कि अच्छे काम करो, instead of getting into drugs or getting addicted or getting into, rioting or whatever, if we all start acting as a small responsible citizens only, I think that is our work is done. So I at least see a great future for India, with the education, coming up very well and all. So I see India will be within 20 years will be a complete different scenario. And I, being a very positive person, I believe कि हमारा देश आगे ही बढ़ रहा है हर वे में. So as a social worker, I would urge all the people कि अपने में से, चाहे वो आपकी काम वाली का बच्चा हो, हर वे में हेल्प करो, किसी को एजुकेट करने में, किसी को कोई मदद चाहिए, कोई किसी भी अच्छे वे में कुछ भी काम करो, and India will shine, I'm sure. So there's a great way, there's a good future, I'm sure.
I've heard of quite a lot of people saying, when we feed people or the ones who don't get regular meals, it is not considered an act of kindness, but it is their fundamental right to get meals, or at least not starve to death. What is your take on this?
See, when we talk about India, the population of India is more than 1 billion, so it's very difficult to, manage such a big country. That's the entire problem. The basic problem of our country is population. Yes, if we can bring that in control, I think everything else, this poverty, hunger, what we are, talking, can be brought under control. So I think the first and foremost thing the government needs to, put forward is a policy of population control. Then only I think we can talk about people's starvation, hunger, poverty, and etc. All the other things can follow. Once the population is under control, all the schemes and everything can be, put forward in a proper way. So everything, whatever, even us or government or whatever we are doing is getting diluted. Why? Because proper इतनी ज़्यादा population है कि उनको handle करना for people is not, it's very difficult. So the first and foremost thing I think any government, our government should actually, see is population control. And that's how, I feel कि ये hunger and starvation, ये सब चीज़ें, क्योंकि इतना बड़ा देश and production and तो इतना ही limited ही होगा. So that's where, if there is so much of difference, production and population में तो hunger and starvation तो रहेगा ही. So obviously it's not a good thing to see even small children starving and all. But I think the only way we can control is by making long-term policies to, bring our population in control. That's how, because when I also used to feel, when I see people begging for food and, people suffering when we see on the footpath, I feel so miserable. अपन को लगता है क्या कर सकते हैं हम, कितनों को खिलाओगे, 1 को 2 को 100 को, लेकिन there are millions out there. How much can you do, So I think उसका एक ही solution है कि सबसे पहले तो ये जो क्लास है उनको population control करना सिखाना चाहिए किस वे में, so then only all these development programs will work.
But then don't you think before implementing different population policies and limiting and hence limiting the population, the government needs to educate its people first, in the sense if they don't have the right kind of knowledge and the wisdom
Absolutely.
How will those policies be implemented well?
Biggest area, I think, we need to work. People should, go to the areas or maybe slums or those villages to teach people, कि भाई population बढ़ाना से कुछ नहीं होने वाला. उनको ऐसा अभी भी इसमें मतलब आज़ादी के इतने साल बाद भी अभी भी वही नोशन है कि जितने ज़्यादा बच्चे होंगे यानी उतने हाथ, उतने हमारे को हेल्प मिलेगी हमारे काम में. यस, मगर वो ये नहीं समझते कि उन लोगों का मुंह कैसे वो भरेंगे, कैसे उनको खिलाएंगे, दैट्स सेकेंडरी. बट वो यही सोचते हैं कि हाँ, बच्चे जितने पैदा करोगे उतने हमें हेल्पिंग हैंड्स मिलेंगे आगे जाके. बट ये मेंटालिटी को चेंज करना बहुत ज़रूरी है हमारे इंडिया के, स्पेशली इंडियंस में. ये जो मेंटालिटी सालों से चली आ रही है, आई थिंक दैट नीड्स टू बी चेंज्ड, सो दैट इफ़ यू वांट टू सी प्रॉपर ग्रोथ, जैसे हम फॉरेन में करते हैं कि यहाँ कितना डेवलपमेंट है, हमारे यहाँ पे क्यों नहीं हो पा रहा? क्योंकि सारी पॉलिसीज़ डाइल्यूट हो जाती हैं, हो ही नहीं पाता. जिसको ज़रूरत है वहाँ तक हम पहुँच ही नहीं पाते हैं. सो आई थिंक ये सबसे बेसिक नीड हमारी यही है. एंड दैट्स वेयर आई थिंक all of us social workers, government officials should join hands to educate these class of people कि भाई have limited children, if you want to see कि उनको proper education मिले, proper खाना मिले, and आगे जाके वो कुछ responsible citizens बन सके, तो उसके लिए ये चीज़ सबसे ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है. I think this is the need of the hour.
I believe, and I think you would too, that life is also about, exploring your own self, exploring the world. So what are the different experiments that you have done with your life? How have you explored your own life until now?
There are, quite a few of my passions. So I believe I've always followed my heart in whatever work I've done, whether it is my social work. I also love children, I love reading. So the latest work I've started doing on Sundays is gathering children and reading out books to them, reading out stories to them, because I finally I've seen that with the advent of technology, mobiles and laptops and all, children are yes, the pleasure of books and reading, सब सोशल मीडिया पे ही लगे हुए हैं. तो वो बेसिक जो होती है ना, एंड नॉलेज की, रीडिंग की, एक्सप्लोरिंग की, जो पहले की जनरेशन करती थी, आई थिंक दैट इज़ मिसिंग नाउ इन द किड्स, बिकॉज वो लोग अपने गेम्स में ही सब लगे हुए हैं. सो माई अदर पैशन वाज reading books and stories. So I've just started a very small little venture. This is another passion of mine. So I've started gathering children, telling them stories about our own freedom fighters or our Indian mythologies, and come what may, a lot of topics and all, to bring them back the magic of reading. It's a completely different field, but I want the youth of India, the children of India, to again start that love for books, the flair for books, that magic of books. I don't want that to die. So that's how this is another very small little effort of mine where I see कि भाई this shouldn't die, because knowledge जो है ना, जो gain करना, वो बंद नहीं होना चाहिए. टेक्नोलॉजी से no doubt it is इनहेरेंट, टेक्नोलॉजी के बिना आजकल कुछ नहीं हो सकता, मगर ओवर यूज़ ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी जो है अपने बच्चों के जो ब्रेन्स हैं उनको लिमिट कर देता है. सो आई थिंक वन वे टू ब्रिंग देम बैक टू नेचर एंड ब्रिंग देम बैक टू the old way of life of reading, sitting in the nature, so that is very necessary. So this was one small little thing I wanted to bring back children, and they are really enjoying, when there's someone who takes out time and sits with them to tell them stories of our freedom fighters and all children like, passing time like that, and it's a quality time,
It was really nice and inspiring talking to you, and I hope a lot of people like me and my team get an opportunity to get to know the same ideas and thoughts.
I sure do hope I could put forward my point in a clear way. I'm really thankful to you all that I could have a medium where I could put forward my thoughts.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much.